so cold, let me into your window. I go through my diary and untangle my hair.
Okay. Do you want a hot drink?
Oh, yeah, I'd love a coffee. My diaries are chaotic places where kind of every single thought that I think is kind of interesting just goes into it. I'm not very good at documenting stuff. My hair needs to be untangled because I got really drunk at my friend's 30th and I've been vomiting and hungover all day yesterday. And I did that thing that I always do when I get too pissed, is I put myself in the shower. And then your hair dries out because you've been sleeping in the shower with hot water running on it. And then you just like go to bed and you haven't brushed it. And it turns into this. It turns into this. And I can't afford to get my hair done at the moment. So I'm just trying to make the best of a difficult situation. It's been almost a year now since my dog passed away. And honestly, I hate to say it, guys, I'm still not over it. It is still one of the number one, like, triggering things for me is the fact that my dog passed away. And I think coming home has just made me realize how cooked I am because of it. And that dog was truly my everything. And, like, I wasn't even here when she passed away. I was overseas. I had to, like, watch her being put down over FaceTime. And now she's just like buried in the backyard. I had plans. I had like big plans for her funeral. I personally wanted her to be taxidermied so that I could pretend that she was still alive for another 5 years. Everybody would think that I was insane, but I would just like take my taxidermy dog around with me everywhere. And you just have to get used to it and be like, well, that's Brit. Like, she's grieving. But no, none of that happened. Look at this. I need a bleach and tone. There's a cost of living crisis in New Zealand, which is where I am at the moment. My beautiful boyfriend.
That's me.
That's you. Do you like being the most handsome person in Wellington?
Yes, of course. It makes me feel special. No, there's some handsome boys in Wellington though.
Really? Do you think they have kind of... Wellington boys have good style?
Yeah.
I think Wellington as a whole has good style.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I just think it's very clear that there's a lack of access to cool stuff.
Stand in the shop. There you go. Now you can see.
You're
them.
so tall.
Yeah, you do have some. I think there's a lot of kind of second-hand stores and stuff.
Yeah. The list the other day of what is the worst kind of addiction to have. I had this idea that because now that children don't have access to Harold the Giraffe like we did, that I would become the children's Harold the Giraffe and just like dress as a rat. Teach children on the internet about drugs.
Brady the Ratty.
Brady the Ready. Ratty the Ratty. Hi children, I'm here to teach you about drugs. Don't do heroin and angel dust.
But a little bit of cocaine's okay.
But a little bit of cocaine is okay. And when people tell you that coffee is a drug, tell them to shut up. It's obviously not on the same level as heroin and angel dust and crack. Yeah, and mushrooms. And nowadays it's like, oh, ketamine's bad for you unless you do it through a licensed practitioner to help with your anxiety. And same with like MDMA, there's all these kinds of like drug therapies that are happening at the moment. So it's like, what's actually okay and what's not okay? What do you absolutely, if somebody offers you meth, you run away from that person.
Correct.
Whereas if somebody offers you weed, it might be good for you. It might actually really help with your ADHD and anxiety. So I'm comprising a list. Here's another thing that I would really like to do is I have like somehow convinced myself that being born in the year 1994 is like one of the worst years to be born. And I don't have any proof on that. I obviously need to do my research and see if I can actually prove that being born in 1994 was just like the worst. My frontal lobe closed during COVID and I think it has forever altered my brain chemistry in a way that's like not good. Also, I'm 30 and I'm still on my restricted license. So I'm trying to learn how to drive a manual car at the moment because I'm sick to death of people rurally and Europeans laughing at me because I can't drive a manual car. Oh, you can only drive an automatic? Oh my God. I have been driving the manual car since I was a teenager. How are you supposed to get around? This way is more efficient when you have, when you can drive a manual car. You can't even? Oh my god. I can't do it anymore. So I'm literally like studying at the moment. I'm going to have to learn how to drive a manual car in like 2 weeks and then set my full license test. Rushing this out is making it look so much worse. I wrote a note down here that says, is this perspective important to the grand scheme of things? Obviously somebody did a little bit of gardening before writing in their journal that day. Is my perspective important in the grand scheme of things? I think when you look at it as from a scientific perspective, yeah, sure. The perspective is of somebody who was middle class, who is now below middle class due to so many economic recessions. Is my perspective important? Why not? It's just more data, isn't it? It's the story of somebody who's like, it's kind of shit, but in the grand scheme of things, it's okay. Is that perspective important to people? Perspective important in the grand scheme of things? No, but it might be a perspective that is important, and that's science, baby. Oh, I've got my 2025 bingo card. Okay, how am I going to make this look okay? I feel like I've got a really, really good 2025 bingo card, and I'm wondering if I should go like more in depth about it, or maybe like add to it. I'm genuinely still trying to figure this whole YouTube thing out. How am I going to do this? What do people want to see? What can I actually obtainably like film and create for people without burning myself out? I feel like I put so much effort into my content creation and it doesn't pay very much, and it needs to. But I know it just takes time and money and sacrifice. And it's like the new age starving artist, but instead of making paintings, I'm writing ins and outs lists. I like to think I've lived a very interesting life, and I love to talk about it because I come from a long line of narcissists who think that they're the most important person in the room. So unfortunately, it's in my blood. I have stories to tell. Stories that people that are close to me don't like to hear, which is like fine. But that's why I rant on the internet about it. Because I'm like, well, if my own family don't want to hear it, maybe somebody else does. What else is happening in the world at the moment? The Venezuelan president has been kidnapped. And ICE shot that lady. And America just in general is a bit of a shit show, as per usual. But I have to always make sure not to get too wrapped up in American politics, because I need to get more wrapped up in New Zealand politics. That's the country that genuinely affects me. Or UK politics, because that's the country where my boyfriend is from. And I think it's so easy to get so distracted by all the cookery things that America is doing. It's really easy to forget about the actual country that you're living in and the country that you can actually have effective change on. Yeah, well, do I look less depressed? We're going to pull it together today. Get out of this slump. Bye.